The Lego Movie 2, the second part, is the sequel to the much beloved The Lego Movie and is directed by Mike Mitchell and has actors Chris Pratt, Elizabeth Banks, Will Arnett, Nick Offerman, Alison Brie, and Charlie Day returning to voice all the characters they voiced in the original. Following the end of the Lego Movie, the invaders from planet Duplo have left Bricksburg, a total, desolate Mad Max wasteland now known as Apocalypseburg. And when an alien life form abducts Emmett's friends, it is up to him to go and save them. As a huge fan of the first Lego Movie, I was excited about this, but also a little bit skeptical. The first one is such a clever, creative, unique powerhouse of a movie that it was almost impossible to imagine a sequel being able to live up to it. It didn't help that the directors of the first one, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, weren't going to return to direct, but only take on roles as writers and producers. But I am incredibly happy to report that the Lego Movie 2 is 100% a worthy successor to the original. I had a big, goofy, little kid-like smile on my face from beginning to end. It still retains that creative spark that made the first one so special, and Lord and Miller returned with an incredibly heartwarming narrative that even I'll admit got me a little bit choked up. The voice cast is absolutely fantastic. Everyone does a great job just like they did in the first one. Chris Pratt has to do a little more heavy lifting in this one because he also has to play Rex Dangervest, a galaxy-defending archaeologist, cowboy, and raptor trainer who joins Emmett on his quest to save his friends. Obviously, this character is meant to poke fun a little bit at some of the roles that Chris Pratt has had over the years, and honestly, there's a lot of fun to be had there. And Chris Pratt does a great job of making sure that both of the characters are very distinct. Tiffany Haddish and Stephanie Beatriz are two of the new additions to the cast, and they both do a great job. Tiffany Haddish brings her incredible comedic chops to the movie, and she has these two musical numbers that she makes great use of. Speaking of the musical numbers, I just want to bring up the fact that this movie has a really good soundtrack. There's a lot of fun, catchy songs that are used throughout that I'm sure are going to annoy a lot of parents throughout the United States. Especially the one called Catchy Song, which operates as this movie's Everything is Awesome, and honestly it fills in that role perfectly. The animation is gorgeous and the attention to detail is jaw-droppingly good. I decided to see this in IMAX because I knew it was going to be another visual spectacle just like the first one, and I completely got my money's worth. One of my favorite things to do with these Lego movies is paying real close attention to some of the imperfections of the pieces that actually make up the characters. Like seeing some of the little dents or some of the smudged or worn out paint on them. And like I said, these characters have been living in this Mad Max style wasteland for I believe 5 years. And honestly, one of my favorite details about this is that the characters look more worn out and damaged than they did in the first one, or at least I think they did. And it's a smaller detail, but it's one that I really appreciated, and it shows how meticulous the filmmakers making this movie are. Of course, the movie is also very funny. It uses the same kind of mile-a-minute meta humor and visual gags that are used in the Lego Movie and any of the other movies in this franchise. They also got really creative with some of the voices used in this movie and playing that for laughs. If you've seen the trailer, you've seen that some of the weapons that are used in this movie are these exploding hearts and stars that have the voice of a toddler. And I don't know what it is about that gag, but every time it was used, I was laughing really hard. Now, as far as the themes of this movie, it actually has a lot going on, and it's able to juggle all of it and make sure that all of it hits. I don't want to go too deep into what those themes are because I think it might ruin the movie, but I will say that they're handled just as well as the themes in the first Lego Movie are. The one big problem I will say that I have with this movie is that there's a certain plot device used towards the end of the movie that's just kind of brought out of nowhere and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and the movie just kind of moves past it with no real explanation, and that took me out of the movie for a little bit. It didn't really detriment the movie in any huge way, but it was a problem that I had with it. But other than that, there's not really a whole lot that I have to complain about. Overall, I think this movie is a highly enjoyable experience. I think anyone who is a fan of the original Lego Movie is going to have a great time with this one. This is top-tier family entertainment just like the first one. It's funny, it's clever, it's an absolutely gorgeous movie to look at, it's heartwarming, it teaches good lessons, and it has a great soundtrack that you're going to be able to blast on the car ride home. I give the Lego Movie 2 a 4.5 out of 5. So what did you guys think of the Lego Movie 2? Is it a worthy successor to the original, or maybe does it fall a little flat? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to the channel, follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. I'll have the handles down in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.